Can you briefly tell me about the humble beginnings, like where you grew up and who you were back then?
Yeah, man, I grew up right here in Eastwood, man. I grew up in Eastwood, Texas, man. That's in Fort Worth, Texas. That's when it was Fort Worth, Texas. I grew up on the Eastwood, Little John block. Well, I grew up on Birch Street, to be exact, right out from Miller and Berry in the Eastwood neighborhood, man. That was my neighborhood right there, Miller and Berry, right off of Killer Miller, man. I had the 41st, 4200 Birch Street Crip gang over there in the Eastwood neighborhood, man. But that's where I grew up at, man, in a nice little ghetto part of the neighborhood, man, right in Eastwood.
What was it like growing up over there?
Very, 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 how can I put it? Fairy tale, compared to today's world, man. It was like a fairy tale world. I grew up in a world where everybody on the block looked out for each other. I grew up on the block where the snow cone man came. I grew up on the block where when you run out there and you didn't have money to get nothing off the truck, one of the parents would throw it to you, would tell you, get you something anyway, baby. Get you something off that ice cream truck. Everybody ain't gonna be getting out and you standing there just looking at the truck. I grew up where we had skating rings to go to, bowling alleys to pull up at. Shit, we could go to the dollar movies. I grew up in that was in the BC days. Yeah, you got the AC days and the BC days, you know.
Right.
You know what that stands for, right?
Right. Before Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what?
And after death. After Christ, whatever.
Well, that what they call it. Yeah, but in my world, we call it before crack and after crack.
Right.
Yeah, that's my days.
That's
your
days.
Before crack came, the BC days, good ass community, man.
And after crack came, what was that like?
Bad motherfucker. That's when the gangs came. That's when Fort Worth turned into murder world. That's why I got across my neck. That's when Fort Worth turned into the murder.
The crack did that? Crack epidemic did that?
It did it to every neighborhood. It did it to not just Fort Worth, it did it all around the world. It wasn't just a Fort Worth thing. It was an epidemic to get rid of the minorities, man. But it just didn't get put in my neighborhood. It didn't happen. It just happened at the same time. When they dropped that bombshell, they dropped at the same time. It was meant to.
You believe that shit was a conspiracy?
Yes, don't believe it. It's been a proven fact that it was. Been a proven fact. The Reaganomics was the real thing. You dig what I'm saying? Reaganomics was real, you know what I'm saying? He did that. Bill Clinton exposed all that when he said something about it. When Bill Clinton said, "I'm sorry, but they made me do it." Huh? As far as locking up, putting more pressure on the ones that throw more drugs after, get more addicted and lock all of them up. Bill Clinton, he broke the ice on that. So, yeah, that's my neighborhood before crack was a beautiful place. My neighborhood after, a lot of young men seeing their dads stop being daddy. The picket white fences left.
Yeah, how they disappeared.
Their yard wasn't cut no more like it used to be. Mama, why they got trash bags on their window? We still got curtains. Everything started changing. It started changing. Deacon such and such. Oh, Sister Johnson loves me on that shit now. He on that stuff. What stuff? No. But when it came, it destroyed up a lot of families, man. I don't know who made everybody start using it all at the same time. That's the crazy part. But when it did hit, it knocked down. So yeah, before the before was a lovely place. The after, shit, you got murder worth after that.
Before catching your first case or whatever, who was Percy as a young adult?
Oh man, Percy was a CNA, man. I was a certified nurse's aide. I got my degree at McKinney Job Code. Percy was a certified welder. I can weld, I can MIG and TIG, and I can underwater weld. That's who Percy was. Percy was a kid that was on the right track. Percy moved in with his daddy. His daddy showed him how to become a man. Percy liked to fish. I like to sit out there and fish with my daddy, smoke my little weed. I didn't give a damn if I didn't catch nothing. You dig what I'm saying? Just me and my daddy barbecuing. You know what I'm saying? Things that would happen in the neighborhood that, I was fortunate to have a daddy. You know what I'm saying? I was fortunate to have a mama. My mama was a preacher. I didn't too much, mess with mama. Cause mama was on the church. You got to go to church every day with her. So I'd rather go with daddy, cause daddy didn't do nothing but enjoy life. And he was I moved in with my daddy. I was a daddy baby. I'm not a mama baby. Came up under the daddy roof, just like boys in the hood. That was my upbringing with the old man. But that's who Percy was, man. A hard-working, honest kid. You dig what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about it. I knew about it, but I didn't participate in it. It didn't interest me when I seen kids doing bad shit. That didn't turn me on. I was too busy playing the drums for the drill team.
So let me ask you this.
Talk to me.
How you get introduced to gang bang and becoming a Crip? Was that before you went to prison or after you went to prison?
Oh, that was way before. I went to Job Corps. When I turned around and went to Job Corps when I was 16, 17 years old, that's when I got introduced to a lot of things. That's when I met people. That's when I grew up in church. When you grew up in a church household, you're not exposed to the world, worldly things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's kept from you. You don't grow up in a church household knowing about dope and coke and that's not taught at home. We don't know nothing about racism at the house. We was all taught to love one another. There's certain things that, when you come up a certain way that you're not exposed to when you get out there in the world, that's when you're exposed to it. I went to Job Corps at 16. I went away from home. I decided, hey, I don't want to go to school no more. I don't want to do this. I want to be grown. So I want to be bad. So my teacher didn't play there, so you had to find somewhere to be bad at. So I thought I was grown. I went on the Job Corps, but in the process, me going to Job Corps, I had to grow up. I had to grow up and become who I was, from that day forward.
So when you first hit the prison system, what was it like on a new place that you had to call home?
Shit, new place, shit. When it was a nightmare to wake up on the side of a toilet. It's a nightmare to wake up, and have to eat in the same place you had to shit in. You just shit right there, but now you gotta sit there and put your food in your lap and eat it at your lap. It was a horrifying experience, that this is somewhere you gotta stay for the next 2 and 3 years. What you talking about? Matter of fact, the next 2 hours, the next 2 days, the next 2 weeks. And you got some people over here with life sentences in a place like that. Yeah, that's terrible when you wake up and find out that you're here and you finally here and ain't nothing you can do to get out of here.
How long did it take for you to adjust to that new environment, this new place you had to call home now?
Shit, I never adjusted. I just tried to fit in. You know what I'm saying? I never adjusted. You're right about that. I have adjusted a couple of times, which when you adjust, you become institutionalized. Things seem to become a pattern. Things seem to become a trend in your life when you adjust. I have adjusted many a time. I adjusted so much that every time I got out, I went right back because I was adjusted to that environment. And that's what the system is designed to do, to destroy your mind and have you adjusted. So when you get out here, you feel like, hell, you can't even, it makes you lazy, sorry. You don't have to feed yourself. You don't have to wash your clothes. Hell, you don't even got to find a place to stay tonight. Shit. As a matter of fact, hell, you can just wake up and go get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you ain't got to pay a thing. You hear me? And you ain't got to worry about where it's coming from the next day. To people on the streets, to people that's out there like that, that's a lovely place to be. You got some people get out here and kill a person just to go back and live the rest of their life in that place. But to a man that's inside his right mind, that's in the right mind, his right state of mind, I know that ain't a place that anybody in their right state of mind want to be. They don't want to be in no place like that. Adjust, I never adjusted. I did, but I'm thank God that I unadjusted. He took me back a few notches and unadjusted me out of that place and let me learn to adjust out here in this system. It feel better to be on top of the ground than the ground to be on top of me. It feels better for me to be out here in the free, to be on the outside looking in instead of the inside looking out. That's how I feel right now.